Way back in the day, when I was but a youngin', there was an old superhero cartoon I used to watch. And apparently, from what I've gathered, other people used to watch it too. I know, weird to think. In its original iteration, the series only ran for 3 years, but in that time it managed to cement its legacy as one of the greatest superhero cartoons to ever come about. The golden standard of superhero content, if you will, and one we have strayed oh so far from in recent years. Depending on who you ask, the word sacred may even be thrown around, be it genuine or antagonistic. Usually it's just melodramatic. Needless to say, I'm talking about the all too well-known Batman the Animated Series. The beloved children's cartoon and famous origins of Bruce Timm's DC animated universe. The ripples this show made in the world of Batman are felt to this very day, and not just because of rehashed nostalgia baiting, because for the most part, every Batman movie or cartoon is inevitably compared to it in one way or another. Originally, it wasn't even meant to be as big as it was, moreover than it was to merely be an extra layer of advertising after the release of Batman Returns. They really got some lightning in a bottle with this one, and it's something they've been trying to replicate ever since. Among its other accolades, the show managed to gather together a substantial portion of Batman's rogue gallery in the short 3 years that it was on the air, introducing them to a larger audience of people who didn't necessarily read DC Comics. Mr. Freeze, Clayface, Ra's al Ghul, all villains that weren't as well known at the time as they were massively overshadowed by the juggernauts that were Joker, Riddler, and the Penguin. But today is a special day, because we aren't going to be talking about any of those lunatics today. Perhaps at some point in the future, but today is reserved for a very special someone. Someone who I don't think gets enough attention, if I'm being completely honest. Perhaps you've heard of him, perhaps not, but in the end, it could be said he is the greatest foe of the Dark Knight. One who came so close to defeating the Batman that his diabolical weapon tore effortlessly through our hero's armor before subsequently knocking him off of a building. And I mean, I'm just saying, Clayface and Mr. Freeze sure as hell didn't come that close to killing him. This is a villain of pure evil, I tell you. And he is on a path of vengeance, one that cannot be halted by even the city's most feared figure. So that should give you an idea of how horrifying this guy is. I speak, of course, of the Clock King. Look at him. Look at this stupid little clock cane. This guy almost killed Batman, everyone. Point and laugh with me, dear viewer. Point and laugh.
It's about time.
The opening words of a legend, everyone. Dear viewer, allow me to introduce you to Temple Fugit. I know, isn't it great?
Oh, it's about time. Yeah. There's a couple of different meanings there, isn't it?
Really?
What do you think this guy's stick is?
We're waiting for it already.
Dude, I remember this. I remember the whole plot of this. Do you remember the whole plot of this?
Vaguely.
Oh my god, just don't say anything. Don't spoil it. It's really good. It's really good. Oh my god, I fucking love it. Oh my god. I forgot why I loved this so much. It's so stupid. I can't wait for the reveal. I can't fucking wait. I'm so excited. This is oh god, what a piece of shit this human is. At 3 o'clock on the dot, I take my appointed coffee break, and then at 3:02 I brush my teeth for 2.5 minutes. Then I rinse off my toothbrush, and at 3:04 I check the weather.
It's a pretty standard day for Temple here. He's waiting for his usual commute to work, where he will go and sit in the exact same spot he sat in for the last 1 year, 7 months, and 13 days. Note that this is not a snarky comment from me to make fun of this obvious nerd. This is something that this man keeps track of. He is a man of routine, Temple Fugit, and now that he's made sure to tap the train seat 3 times, he can now engage his fellow train-riding citizens in the mandatory small talk portion of his day.
Yeah, no, this is the person that I would go away from. Like, if we worked together and we had to ride the sub, I would, like, actually get up and walk away from this person. Like, what a fucking piece of shit.
It's like, this train is 6 minutes behind schedule. Like,
We all know, man. We're on the same train.
Unfortunately for Temple, today is not a good day, because in addition to having a court hearing to attend later in the afternoon, he is also 6 minutes behind schedule, which honestly you would think for a man like Temple would completely annihilate his entire day, but he is nothing if not resourceful, keeping his schedule on hand at any given point so he can rearrange events to accommodate for the filthy non-punctuals.
You seem pretty tightly wound this morning, Fugit.
Alright, cool, we can check that one off the list.
Oh.
do you get it? Do you get it, Shammy? He seems tightly wound.
I think I got it.
Trust me, I know those things. If that judge sees you looking as tense and haggard as you are...
I mean, yes, of course, very tightly wound indeed. I'm 6 minutes behind schedule, Mr. Hill, but also keep in mind I'm not violently vomiting all over my seat like last time, so you should really be commending me on my self-improvement. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to click my tongue 4 times to make sure nothing else bad happens today. Basically, what we have going on today is that Fugit's company is being sued, thus the reason for the upcoming court hearing. In fact, it's actually worse than that. Fugit's company has been sued, as we hear from the man himself.
There's been a $20 million judgment against my company. My attorney has appealed, but if we lose, it's the end of everything.
So to paint the picture here, Fugit's company gets sued for whatever reason, and the court finds it liable for the aforementioned $20 million, which, in a nutshell, equates to the impending end of Temple Fugit Incorporated. However, all hope is not lost, because the company's attorney has filed an appeal to try and get the decision overturned. So that's always good. I'm sure that'll go great. But now that we've gotten the boring exposition out of the way, we can move on back to the funny stuff, as you can see here as I direct your attention to Temple's schedule.
You see how he brushes his teeth at 3:02?
302, and 305, and 306. So specific.
Loosen up. Do something to relax before you go into court.
Do something with your free time.
He drinks. Well, that actually makes sense. He drinks coffee at 3, and then he brushes his teeth at 3:02.
Yes.
He's got to get all that coffee
schedule.
off.
He has
his
2 minutes to drink his coffee, and then he needs to go brush his teeth.
Just chugs it down.
teeth. It's cold coffee, okay? You drink
My
it cold.
schedule.
This is a man who's got it all figured out, let me tell you. Those Buddhist monks up on the mountains wish they could achieve the level of enlightenment that Temple Fugit has. Please note how he has only given himself 2 minutes to drink his coffee before he then has to go brush his teeth. But then he doesn't actually have to go check the weather until 3:05. This guy is giving himself more time to brush his teeth than he is to drink his coffee. Like, man, there are a lot of things I would do to see this man's full schedule. Anyway, we have Hamilton Hill here, Fugit's fellow train passenger, who clearly did not listen to a single thing that was said to him, as he proceeds to start giving the advice of relaxing and breaking from the routine.
If that judge sees you looking as tense and haggard as you are now, he'll think you were up to something.
I mean, probably not. He's gonna think that he's an uptight weirdo who irons his socks. I mean, come on, this is a judge in Gotham City. He probably has like 6 homicide cases to look at as soon as he's done with this appeal. There is a 0% chance that he has not overseen a case where the defendant refers to themselves in the third person or only replies in thematic puns. I don't think he's going to be looking at Temple here with anything that isn't irritated neutrality.
Do you take a coffee break?
Of course, every day, at 3 on the dot.
Then take it at 3:15.
But Counselor Hill, that's when I get beat up for my lunch money. I can't take my coffee break then. Also, what kind of stupid advice is that? You're telling him to relax by taking his coffee break later. This gigantic nerd is just going to switch those 2 times in his schedule and everything's going to be exactly the same. That's not going to calm him down. If anything, that's going to freak him out more. I mean, look at this expression of absolute abstract horror. Look at what you've already done to this man, Hill.
Do you know how hard I worked on my schedule?
That's
Every
impossible.
second is accounted for.
At 3:15 is when I enter my office.
Look at that expression of horror at the very suggestion.
I'm surprised you didn't just kill him right then and there. Like, you son of a bitch! Don't you suggest that to me!
Don't you disrespect time like that.
Yeah. You understand my scheduling? I have been crafting this to the utmost second.
But my schedule.
Forget your schedule for one day.
Yeah, man, just forget about your schedule for this one day that you have a court hearing to try and appeal this $20 million lawsuit. Yeah, that's the advice you should be giving this man, Hill. This man who looks like he uses a ruler to adjust his posture.
I needed those 5 minutes ago.
God, he's like the worst dick boss ever.
37 pages? That would take a copier exactly 1 minute and 49 seconds.
Kiss my ass. You're right there.
Oh, he's fired.
Your coffee, sir, and those court documents you requested.
We need to hurry. I need to brush my teeth in 2 minutes.
He's already brushed his teeth twice now.
I know for a fact that coffee takes approximately 1 minute and 48 seconds to make, and it took you exactly 3 minutes and 27 seconds. You're
But anyway, we're going to be skipping the rest of the morning rituals. I think that we pretty much got the point. We are in Gotham City after all. It's not like it's any mystery on how this is going to go. He's going to do the thing, it's going to ruin his life, and then he's going to become a gimmick-themed supervillain over it, and the local billionaire will have to come beat him up. Now, I do want to say, I greatly appreciate that the animators took the time to show us that even though he's taking his coffee break later, he couldn't make it to 3:15. This poor bastard missed brushing his teeth and checking the weather, and now his day is just completely thrown out of whack.
He literally just looks insane.
How many girlfriends do you suppose this guy has?
I don't know. They might not be on his schedule yet.
Unfortunately, as ironic as it is, we are on a timetable here, so it's time to start amping up the supervillain origin bit. There we go. Got that out of the way pretty easily. I mean, oh no! What an incredibly unfortunate series of events that will now lead to Temple being late to his court hearing.
I can't believe I brought all my important court papers on this windy day next to a fountain.
Well, this has certainly been a rough afternoon for the old efficiency expert, but I don't think we've quite hit the classic one bad day quite yet. Because let's be real, a judge typically isn't going to just dismiss an appeal just because the defendant is being late, especially one that deals with a $20 million judgment. And the defendant shows up like this. You know, there are a lot of factors in this situation. The attorney being another one. Your Honor, my client is apparently having a moment. And also procedural issues like tardiness are largely insignificant to the legal merits of this issue. I'd like to request a delay or reschedule.
Summary judgment against him stands at $20 million.
Oh, never mind. I didn't count on the judge also being evil. Damn, man, that's pretty cold. You are late, and also you are wet. Clearly you are trying to make a mockery of this court. $20 million.
You just show up on time, you automatically lose.
Yeah,
That's
right.
not how the justice system works. That's ridiculous. You're tardy. Guilty. Life.
Man, no wonder there are so many mentally unstable freaks running around this city. Everyone is actively trying to make everyone else's day as miserable as humanly possible. Legal issues be damned. You made me wait and now my coffee is cold. Also, I know it's too late now, but thanks for all that help, Mr. Attorney. You really clutched up while I was outside dealing with the children of the corn. Court is in session. Where is your client? My what? God damn. This mixture of petty malevolence and incompetence would be enough to drive any normal man over the edge. What do you suppose it's gonna do to this nutcase? Well, my company's going under. Mine is snapping. Okay, snapped. Good. Time to paint hour and minute hands onto my glasses and start training to fight Batman.
This is why you don't take advice from people on trains.
Yeah. This is why you don't talk to
Because
people on
lots of them-
trains.
Yeah, don't talk to people.
Just don't talk to anyone.
Now, for anyone who has ever seen any single form of Batman media ever, it doesn't take all that much to conclude that he's going to be blaming Hill for this. I say this because it's worth taking a moment to appreciate the fact that this man became a Batman villain because someone told him to take his coffee break later. Remember, everyone, this show is mainly praised for how well it handles the villains' backstories and origins. And I have to say, I 100% agree. First of all, we have Judge Evil here, who decided that he wanted to conduct a social experiment in Gotham City by being the biggest asshole on the planet. We have Fugit's lawyer, who was pulled straight out of an episode of The Simpsons. We have little Timmy and Susie here, who have made it their life goals to ruin everybody's day at every given opportunity.
Children. How inefficient.
We have whoever this kid is, who didn't use the photocopier quick enough.
I needed those 5 minutes ago.
Bro, I paused to scratch my balls. Leave me alone. What the fuck? I can't.
man.
I am so happy I got out of the military.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just a shit ton of these people that have power that they shouldn't have. They're
Clock
everywhere. It's terrible. Clock kings everywhere.
And then we have Hamilton Hill, who messed with his schedule. His death is the only true option, really. We cut to a 7 years later card. Hill has taken up the unenviable job as mayor of this place and is currently running for re-election. He's on his way to a rally, and of course, included in the convoy is none other than Bruce Wayne.
Are you quite sure you won't stop for breakfast, Master Bruce?
Do not deviate from the schedule, Alfred.
I saw another animation error.
Oh my god, where was it?
Hold on. Look at those cars driving on
the curb,
on
like
the
the middle
curb.
thingy? Oh my god. Look at these assholes. Learn to drive.
Zach, I found an error in the animation.
There's a bit of a back and forth between him and Alfred to essentially establish what I just laid out, before the unthinkable occurs and a taxi driver crashes into Bruce's limo.
Alfred, if you were watching the road, you wouldn't have
God
crashed.
damn it. Worst. God damn it, Alfred. You're the worst butler in the world.
I take it taxi drivers are no longer required to obey traffic signals.
You weren't looking at the road.
Before Bruce points out that neither of them are to blame, as the traffic signals appear to be broken. And I know what you're thinking. Good God, what monster could have possibly done such a thing? Well, if you ask the average Gotham citizen, apparently it's the mayor's fault. Ah yes, political activism of a preschooler from the looks of it. Have to say, I'm not terribly impressed with the plan so far, Fugit. Took you nearly a decade to figure this out, huh? I'm going to break the traffic light of one intersection, and then I'm going to drop a big portrait of the mayor that I've drawn a mustache on. This must have been the early days of the revenge planning, huh, Fugit? That one part of the evil plot that you forgot to scratch out of the final draft. That's okay, though. You've done enough to get Batman's attention. As Bruce no-clips through the car here, thinking to himself, nah, it's been a slow week. I guess I could go see what this whack job's problem is.
How dare you make fun of that political figure?
Yeah.
How dare
Yep.
you?
Yep. Those are good people. What's next? You're gonna make fun of CIA agents? Those are national heroes. Where's my phone?
Well, well. The Batman. It's about time you showed up.
Oh yeah, Fugit took those 7 years really well.
The Batman.
Uh-huh.
I suppose you want to know why I've brought downtown Gotham to a standstill, Batman.
Yes, Batman. I suppose you're wondering why I broke one traffic light and then hung a banner with a bad political joke on it.
Meanwhile, Joker is setting a bomb at the harbor, but, you know, one problem at a time, I suppose. The screaming hostages can hold on for a few more minutes. How many more clock puns do you suppose we can cram into this scene?
This is the point where Batman's like, oh, you're not a threat in the slightest.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave.
Yep.
Like,
Look at his fucking stupid glasses.
they're clocks.
And you have a pocket watch bomb, because of course you do. The most readily available resource in all of Gotham City. C4. And you know this guy had to go to an arms dealer or something and specifically ask them to craft him a C4 pocket watch. And that's the episode that I want to see, personally. I want to see this nerd walk up to this guy while he's in the middle of making one of Penguin's machine gun umbrellas and ask him for a pocket watch bomb. And I suppose while we're scratching at this topic, it might also be appropriate to inquire on where exactly this guy is getting the funding for all this crap. Mr. Just Got Sued for $20 million over here was still able to afford, in just 7 years mind you, custom-made black market explosives, a golden clock cane for some reason, and whatever setup was required to do all this nonsense, just so that he could mildly irritate some people and then miss his throw at Batman. But Clock King here, Clock King don't care. The crazy has settled itself all nice and cozy in Mr. Fugit's mind. Not a care in the world as he casually walks away from tossing his clock bomb at the most feared icon in the entire DC universe.
Just walking away. He's just walking away. Like, he thought that was gonna work. He's just walking away.
Yeah.
He threw a bomb, like, behind Batman, and then he just turned around and he walked towards the exit. He's a great villain.
The best villain in the show.
It's so good. It's so good. Like, who wouldn't recommend the Clock King? Like, has nobody recommended you watch the Clock King episodes?
I don't think so.
Because he's gold. Like, oh no, we don't talk about him. He got multiple episodes. Like, you can't not. That's
sure?
not okay. Yes. Yes.
What happened in his other episodes?
I don't remember. He's benign. He's there and he irritates Batman. Like, what the fuck is gonna happen in this situation? Batman's gonna land. He's gonna continue throwing this right hook into this old man's jaw, and he's gonna crumple to the ground. And the cops are gonna come running up the stairs, arm. And he's like, no, it's okay.
Speaking of, what do you suppose the most feared icon in the entire DC universe is going to do about this situation? Because, you know, I can tell you what I think he would do. Call me crazy, but something about the Clock King doesn't exactly scream physical prowess. I mean, I could be wrong, sure, but I kind of just have this feeling that a simple slap from Bruce would be enough to put this man on the floor. But of course not. Batman's not gonna waste his time with any of that. We still have like 15 minutes to get through. So he's gonna drop down in front of Fugit out of nowhere and start demanding answers from him.
I want some answers, wise guy. Talk!
Haha! Little do you know you've fallen straight into my trap, Batman.
Oh, sorry. That was a bit on the dark side there. I watch a lot of bad horror movies. It gives me a weird sense of humor. Don't worry, we can detail the more realistic outcome now. Because Clock King, as you can imagine, had everything perfectly on schedule. Because he knew that Batman was going to corner him at that one specific spot of the building at that precise moment in time where he would then be able to give one final quippy one-liner before timing a fall to perfectly land on a passing train that's always 6 minutes early, so therefore it always goes by at that exact time. Not only that, but he was somehow able to land on this moving train with absolutely no issue, and was even able to strike a pose as he departed the scene.
What? What? What the fuck?
I thought he ran into a building. He just, what? It was at least 4 stories tall, too.
What is it, fucking gymnast now?
Listen, even if the train was there, it was 4 stories that Batman ran up. He would have splattered on top of the train, no matter what.
Yeah, what is he, a fucking expert gymnast? He just stuck the landing on a moving train. Man, that's 7 years. He must have really done a lot of CrossFit or something. I don't know.
Meanwhile, Batman is left to torturously grapple with his understandings of how the laws of physics work as he watches him go. He's not going to follow him, of course. You know, with all that traversal equipment he has.
Geriatric old man evaded Batman. Batman would have just, like, grappling hook onto the train and be like, no. Like, what are you doing?
No need for that. Which honestly, now that I think about it, I agree with you, Batman, so fair enough. This public nuisance is not worth following. Maybe this is the one thing the GCPD can handle on their own. Can you imagine it? The Gotham police force conducting investigation and subsequent arrest without Batman doing all the work beforehand? That'd be something I'd expect a few celebrations and potlucks from afterwards. But anyway, this problem has somehow not been solved yet. And what clues do we have on the situation so far? Well, we got a crazy person. Nothing groundbreaking there. He doesn't like the mayor for whatever stupid reason. And he painted clock hands onto his glasses. All right, Alfred, break out the phone book. I'm going to start coming up with all the stupid time puns I can think of, and you're going to look them all up until we find the idiot who has one for a name. I've been doing this long enough to know where this is going.
And you are Nigma. Edward Nigma?
Yeah, huh? I'll bet it is, buddy. Look, I'm just gonna save us both some time right now and just preemptively put you in the asylum. Your parents doomed you from birth. It's not my fault. Anyway, Alfred proceeds to drive Batman around in Bruce Wayne's limousine. No further comment there.
You know, this car has rather big windows.
Yeah, so I'm like, wait, is that Bruce Wayne's butler driving Batman?
No.
No, the windows are tinted.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And Batman begins his in-depth detective work to discover the truth behind the Clock King's plots. Most of this can be skimmed for the most part, as there isn't really anything super important to note about it. He arrives at the transit station where he finds another clock bomb, which had presumably been used to disable the traffic lights.
Infrared. What'd we find? What's this? A clock.
Oh my god.
I think you need infrared to spot that Batman.
What kind of saboteur uses a $6,000 Metronex to trigger a time bomb?
Somebody who's apparently been saving up pretty diligently since being sued for $20 million. Man had the choice between buying a $30 pocket watch from Kmart or a solid gold one that a Rockefeller once looked at. Seriously, where the hell did this idiot get all of this money? Because keep in mind, that $6,000 is just for the watch. He still had to stuff the explosives into it afterwards, all for the sake of stalling a traffic light and mildly annoying the people at that intersection. The logical conclusion one would come to is that Fugit probably stole it. But no. Batman is here to immediately dash that potential explanation by using the watch's serial number and comparing it to a record of sales from all of Gotham's jewelry stores. Temple Fugit's name instantly pops up, meaning that this moron actually went and spent $6,000 on a watch so that he could then turn it into a bomb to disable the traffic light systems. He could have just taken the explosives that he put into the watch and put that onto the transit station and saved himself $6,000. But that doesn't have anything to do with clocks, dear viewer. And because of that, Batman almost immediately finds him, and he can go through all the appropriate cringing before going to the address that's listed under Fugit's name.
Temple Fugit. You'd be like, ugh. Like right there, you would have just like, ugh. What a fucking nerd. Like, I can see the Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah.
Just like shaking his head.
Yeah. It's like the penguin is more threatening than
Yo,
you.
but for real. Like, actually and unironically. Like, I think this is one of the worst. I think the Condiment King is more of a threat. Because vinegar fucking hurts.
And of course, Fugit's listed address is the location of his secret hideout, which is a demolished watch factory. that he has hidden with a clock sign.
Great secret hideout.
Yeah, fantastic.
He hit it with a clock.
Yeah. Yeah, he hit it with a watch company sign.
How did you find my secret lair?
Man, the detectiving is really easy today, isn't it, Bruce? One might even say that the Clock King isn't really putting as much effort into this as you would think he would. And cleverly hidden upon the desk of the Clock King's secret hideout is a whole mountain of information and data on the Gotham Clock Tower. So gee, I wonder if he's planning on doing anything with the Clock Tower.
What is it about that particular clock tower? He's got more data on it than anything else in the city.
Why indeed, Bruce? Why would this obvious lunatic who's constantly rambling about clocks and time have all this information on the giant clock that you have in the middle of the city?
It's a puzzle.
Oh well, no time to think about that because now a bank is being robbed. Yes, I know, average Tuesday in Gotham, but I assure you this time it matters. Because whoever's robbing the bank is doing so by cutting off all the power to that specific area of the city. This is, in turn, disabling the locks on the bank's vault. The time locks.
Yeah, he could disable the vault in the bank because it was a time lock.
Uh-huh. Oh my
There's
god,
a bank.
it's clock gas.
So now it's off to go deal with that. Upon arrival, Batman is immediately greeted by, as you can see, an obvious trap. However, Batman here is having a little bit of an off day, which is understandable, all things considered. But he immediately falls for it and walks into the vault. Surprise. That's okay though, Bruce. Let's let the Clock King spell out his entire evil plan for you real quick. Because as is the norm, a tape recorder has been left behind where the Clock King says, "Ha-ha, Batman, you've fallen straight into my devious trap. Allow me to detail all of the mechanics of it so that you can immediately escape." So basically, the Clock King was presented with the problem of knowing that he can't actually gas Batman out because he has, and I quote, all kinds of gas masks. And so, with the leftover money he had from all those $6,000 watches he kept buying, he got himself a high-pressure vacuum pump, which he declares is going to suck all of the air out of the room. And Batman can't open the box to let the air out because there's an explosive that will trigger if he does so. And also because he needs to relate this back to time in some way, it's going to be done in 15 minutes exactly, which is noted to be a shorter amount of time than what it would take for Bruce to melt his way out.
The process will take 15 minutes, which is exactly 17 minutes less than the time it would take you to burn through the door with that oxyacetylene torch of yours.
How does he know he has that?
And, you know, that's just fine and dandy and all. Except for the fact that I absolutely refuse to believe that that little shoebox is going to suck all of the air out of this room. Like, are you kidding me? Bruce Wayne's lungs would be a more effective air pump than this thing would be.
How's he sucking the oxygen out, by the way?
Oh, it's
a vacuum
yeah.
pump that's going to suck all the oxygen out of the room.
Yeah, that little box there is going to be enough to empty air out of that room.
Oh, so break the box open and release the oxygen.
No. There's a bomb. There's a time bomb in there.
It's a bomb.
Oh, it's a bomb too.
You could say it's a clock bomb.
Also, Clock King, I don't want to be the one to rain on your parade or anything, but you could have just not said anything.
But that doesn't involve time, so.
No.
Actually, no, it does. This is inaccurate because having to say all that and record that would have taken time, and that's not efficient. This is bullshit. This episode's trash.
I mean, I get it. You're quite literally a cartoon villain. I can accept that you probably wouldn't have been able to resist the urge to leave at least one gloat behind. But the extent of that could have literally just been, "Ha-ha, Batman, you've fallen for my obvious Wile E. Coyote-style trap. Goodbye," and then waited for Batman to open the box and blow up. It's funny because the writers are really trying to make you a threat. Like, they're really trying. But the thing is even if you do succeed in killing Batman, I would probably still laugh at you.
If anything, I would just start laughing at Batman, too. But aside from the point, though, you should have just not said anything, Clock King. All you did was give Batman enough time to roll his eyes while he sets up his bomb defusal kit.
Come on, Batman, you can do it. You can defeat the Clock King.
Well, Batman's dead.
Nah, he's fine.
That shot.
He had sandbags to block the
Yes.
explosion, you see.
Naturally.
Yeah.
They're in every bank vault.
Yeah.
You got him. Those. I think that's all the money.
Hey, no,
it's the money.
It's funnier if I call it sandbags, Tana.
Yeah, but that's the money.
Those are sandbags.
I don't care. I'm calling them sandbags in the
No,
video.
It's funnier that he's defending himself with the power of money. He's a billionaire after all.
Yeah.
Did he need to hang it up there? Couldn't he just put it at the front of the thing and just...
Nope. If he
Then he died. He's almost in the Peter Griffin thing. It's almost the Peter Griffin.
If he moved it, that's how what he was doing is how they used to do bomb defusal. Is they do like rope tricks for shit that's motion activated to be able to move it without moving it. And that's how they actually did bomb disposal. So it was it's kind of a point for Batman.
Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Fugit has successfully kidnapped the mayor. How has he done this, you may be asking? Well, I don't know, because we don't actually get to see it. But that's okay, though. Basically, Hill is doing another rally where he's opening a new railroad. However, the train isn't arriving on time, and apparently this, in turn, looks bad on him.
Is this the dystopia you want to live in?
Imagine, if you will, a world where instead of a train arriving at 2:30, it arrives at 2:35. I, for one, could not stomach such a world.
Fugit then gets onto the intercom and says, "Ha ha! I am the obvious saboteur framing the mayor." And then two trains crash into each other and proceed to derail.
Clear the platform, please. Here comes some more of our mayor's incompetence.
Yeah, is it incompetence or is it the convenient sabotage of the same guy over and over again? The world may never know. Also, the amount of systems put in place for that to not happen.
I was like, how
insane.
did he do that? How did he get those trains on the same track, going opposite directions? How did he do that? How is
with the scheduling, Zach?
oh.
No, so he woke back up even though he was dying.
Yeah.
So he fainted from the oxygen loss and then woke up.
Yes. After this, Hill is just gone. So yeah, I don't know. I have no point of reference on how Fugit kidnapped him. Moreover, I have absolutely no clue on how he managed to drag the mayor up this clock tower and then tied him to the hand of it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did he get him up there by himself?
He has a lot of time, Tana.
Yeah, but... scrawny asshole.
Are you just questioning the physical prowess of the Clock King?
Yes. Maybe if he was Calendar Man, I'd take him a little more seriously. I don't know.
Like, I don't know how anybody could have done that, much less this 70-year-old borderline dementia patient. But never mind all that, because we finally come to the best part of the episode. As I said, Fugit somehow managed to tie Mayor Hill to this clock hand. I don't know how he did it. It's a mystery we'll never solve, but it's ultimately irrelevant here. Do you know what the Clock King's plan is? You're going to want to pay attention here, because this is actually pretty great. It's all about to come full circle now. The Clock King's plan is to tie Hill to the little hand here, so that when it hits 3:15, when he had originally told him to take his coffee break, the big hand will crush him.
Isn't it great? Isn't that awesome?
What a useless villain.
No, he's not. He's a pest. past, like, this mayor should stand up and punch him in the face, and this is over. It's done. Like, the mayor is a bigger man, and he would win.
Now, as I say that, you may be realizing that there's a couple problems with this plan. One of the more major ones being that, well, clock hands don't collide with each other when they're moving. But, that's okay. It's probably still going to hurt his right arm and leg there a little bit. Might be a little cramped for him.
There's a problem with that.
Just one?
There's one major problem. All this motherfucker has to do is move his leg and he's fine. I mean...
Okay, if those hands actually did touch, then one would either have to push the other, and therefore the clock wouldn't show you the accurate time, or one would get stuck on the other, and therefore the fucking clock wouldn't show the accurate fucking time.
Needless to say, the mayor is completely dumbfounded on who the hell this person even is. Although I'm gonna be honest, Clock King isn't really presenting it in the way that helps his case at all.
Who's mad at his whole arc was, I will get revenge upon the mayor because he told me to take a late coffee break. And I listened to him.
So his motivation was that he told him to take his coffee break at 3:15.
Right.
But Clock King does not have his coffee break at 3:15.
Because he's not gonna brush his teeth at 3:17. That would throw his whole day off.
How could you do this to me? I cannot live with myself.
Look at what you have turned me into.
You turned me into this monster. This is the face of revenge.
Okay, are you ready,
Dan? Look upon me.
The two then proceed to comedically argue with each other about whether or not Hill gave that advice to purposefully screw Fugit's day up.
The plaintiffs were represented by your law firm, Mr. Mayor.
I'll bet Clock King was really excited that the lightning struck right
Yeah.
as he was done talking.
Oh, yeah. He had to hold that together.
So what? You were the dumbass who took his important court papers outside, where you were then attacked by two psychopathic children, and then your appeal was thrown out because the judge decided he didn't like the Oh my god, my sentences are too long. And then your appeal was thrown out because the judge decided he didn't like the flavor of syrup he used on his pancakes in the morning. And when you turned to your lawyer about it, he basically responded with, I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. Did we win? Why aren't you going after any of those people? No. It's clearly Hill's fault. You work at the same place that the plaintiff's lawyer came from. But more importantly, you told me to take my coffee break at a different time that I planned on, and I did so without taking anything from the rest of my schedule into consideration.
Now that you have an appointment to keep at 3:15 precisely with the Grim Reaper.
Like, okay, I hear you. I hear you that he's tied up, right? He can shoot one out of there.
Yes, he can.
Pretty fucking easily.
Yeah.
Super fucking easily. The Clock King can be like, no! Stop! You're ruining everything. What is he gonna poke him with the fucking hour hand? Like, really? Like, that's it. Like, he can, like, poke you in. No, he's got glasses protectively. He can poke you in the eye with that thing.
Yeah.
But that's
about it.
Well, I say, as he gets ready to fight Batman with it, and it becomes a super weapon.
Yes, yeah.
I could go on about this, but at this point it would simply seem self-indulgent. I'm sorry, it's just really easy to laugh at this guy. I'm honestly surprised Hill isn't laughing at this point. But fear not, because Batman is here to break up this little schoolyard scuffle.
I'm here to clean your clock, Fugit.
Thank you, Bruce. That was certainly necessary. Can you just punch this guy so we can go home?
When it comes to clocks, I am king. On guard.
Batman, what are you doing? Batman, please.
Yeah, dude, just
Batman,
beat his ass.
Batman, you're embarrassing yourself.
He was literally balanced and then just fell.
Like, was Batman wearing an extra suit under his suit?
He lost his.
He cut
lost
his
his
suit, but
balance.
there was another suit underneath.
He lost his balance fighting the Clock King.
Man, you're really having an off day today, aren't you, Bruce? This geriatric old man just poked you off of a building with his cane. I don't think you're making the mayor feel very safe right now, Batman.
This piece of shit. This fucking nerd. I'd be so mad if I was Batman. I'd be so irritated.
I would be breaking my no-kill rule pretty quick.
Yeah. I'd be impaling him with his little shitty watch hand.
Just
Time
like
has beaten you again, Batman.
It seems that time has gotten the best of you. Oh, Tate said time is up.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he does.
Barely moved.
What the hell is happening right now? Bruce, are you doing okay?
And I know that it takes you exactly a 20th of a second to throw a punch.
Like, sure, man, but that doesn't mean you have the reflexes to dodge it. What are you talking about?
But it only takes me a 30th of a second to do this.
Oh, of course. So as is the case for any giant mechanical object, as soon as one gear is unable to move, the entire system starts dramatically falling apart. This is really just code for we're running out of time. Batman needs to solve this problem now, thank you.
That stopped the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that is an inefficient clock design.
Yeah. That's a very fucking strong, like, clock hand sword.
It is.
That Fugit has.
Look what you did, Fugit. Dude, oh my god, the animation on that. I don't think you understand what I just witnessed. Oh my god.
What did you just witness?
He fell over he was just on the railing like it wasn't there.
No.
There was just a flat background of him falling and then running. Oh my god. Okay, now watch. He falls, right?
Oh.
Wow!
Oh.
It's just on the
Oh.
Oh my god.
So he's able to just jump out and save Hill at the last second, even though he was absolutely being crushed in this shot, but, you know, we don't need to be giving any thought to that. Clock King, meanwhile, is going to laugh maniacally for no reason before getting presumably crushed by all the falling gears.
There's always a way out.
Oh, jeez. I forgot about that part.
So, all well and good. We managed to wrap that up all nice and happy. And thus the episode comes to a close, with Commissioner Gordon asking Batman what the hell all that was.
He's writing a police report. I want to read that police report.
While Bruce decided to not dignify him with an answer that didn't involve a time pun.
You think we'll hear from him again?
I wouldn't be surprised, Commissioner. In fact, I'd say it's only a matter of time.
Thank you, Bruce. I'm glad that you're having as much fun with this as I am. It's incredible that Commissioner Gordon still asks you for any concrete answers on anything at this point.
Don't you say, oh.
Yeah, just in the distance, you hear.
Yeah. Did somebody say time?
How could anyone survive a wreck like this?
If I could, he could.
Yeah, Can't argue with that logic, Bruce. The old geriatric man rambling about clocks is definitely on par with the guy with grappling hooks and peak physical condition. But obviously, anyone who's ever seen Batman before knows that this is just the writer's way of saying, we're just doing this so that we can bring him back later with no explanation of how he got out of this. Which honestly, I'm over the moon about. Because, dear viewer, it is with great giddy excitement that I inform you that Clock King actually has a second episode in this series.
Clock King has another episode.
Why?
Really? Because he's objectively the best villain, I think.
I will get you next time, Batman.
This guy got a second episode. Hugo Strange didn't even get a second episode.
Hugo Strange got one. Hugo Strange, he's so fucking good. He's like one of the smartest villains.
No. Clock King. All the way. I am a massive Clock King fan now.
He's clock themed.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything more beautiful than that, really. Getting to be blessed by this angel's presence a second time is something I honestly was not expecting the first time I went into this one.
Dude, Clock King is he's a gem. He's a
hoot.
He's an angel. He's like
he should be in the next Suicide Squad.
I wish he was in every episode.
Yeah. He just overtakes Joker as the main villain. He's the final boss.
Yeah.
Some motherfucker's like, hey, what's that retard villain? The Clock King? Clock King? Yeah. Dude, I was staying up all night thinking of time puns. We should make an episode. Put those in there.
But with that, dear viewer, I have to say that we have in fact come to the end of the episode, and truly what an episode it was. I don't think there's ever been a point where I've found such joy in laughing at a character before. I've come close in a few of the horror movies I've watched, but there's something pretty special about the Clock King. He encompasses everything that is non-threatening in a scenario where the writers want you to feel like he's threatening. Because in the back of their minds, you know that the writers are thinking, yeah, Batman's going to hit this guy once and the episode is going to be over. We need to keep them physically separated at all costs. No, keep away from him, Batman. If you get stopped that smug laughter, this man could kill you. Hold the cane up in front of you. Hold it up. That is the only thing keeping that fist out of your face. Dear God, don't let him grab it from you.
I guess it's time to call the ambulance.
Whenever you want to convince someone who's on the fence about watching this show, don't show them Heart of Ice. Don't show them the man who killed Batman, or Perchance to Dream. Show them the Clock King. Present them with the unbridled beauty that is this villain who actually almost killed Batman because he poked at him with his cane. This is the absolute best spot to start this series, and I will not be convinced otherwise. The only true tragedy here is that we didn't have him a third time. A warm and humble thank you to everyone who joined me today. A video on Batman the Animated Series is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I'm happy I've finally been able to do it. Will I do more? We'll see. The series is a blast for me, and it certainly brings back the old memories, so I'd say the odds are certainly tipped in the favorable position. I've seen a lot of very interesting discourse about this series over the years. Not much else to say other than that, just a lot of interesting things for me. Things that have helped shape and refine the old critical eye, and I think that it's important to acknowledge because I imagine this video might be one of my more controversial ones, for more reasons than one provided, but I think that in the end, it's important to realize that you can still concede to the goofy elements of something that you love while still holding it in high regard. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. Batman the Animated Series is the perfect example of that. There are very serious moments in it, moments that are often remembered and praised, putting the show on a high pedestal based on the fond memories held within it. There are also severely goofy moments in it that might not necessarily be remembered as clearly. In some cases, they may even undermine the serious moments. And that's okay. You can still appreciate the moments that make this show as good as it was, while still laughing at the other bits. Because there is some goofy stuff in this cartoon, let me tell you. Does this affect my enjoyment of it? Of course not. Am I going to take it less seriously than I did as a kid? Probably. Am I going to make it a mission of mine to prove to you that the show is actually poorly written? That's certainly doubtful. I'm still not entirely convinced that all of you aren't AI and I'm the only real person on the internet. Convince me of that and we'll go from there. But regardless, I digress. I'm not here to stir the pot much. In the end, I'm just here to have a laugh at the nonsense. And I hope that you got to do so with me as well. Once again, a huge thanks for sticking it out, and I'll see you next time around. Stay well.
Okay, so you used the bullet door open. Okay, I'm about to be like, you could have just built those on one side and just thrown your batarang at it. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
Wait, what?
But that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Wait. What did you say, Zach? Sorry. Yeah, there wouldn't be enough oxygen for fire to happen.
Yeah, but it's in the box.
Ah.
Obviously, you fucking idiot.
It's in the box.
I will drive over to Tana to slap him.
And Zach, imagine being an idiot.